So here's a question that I want you to just think about your instinctive answer to. Can we separate art from its artists? And in doing so, should we boycott art by problematic people?
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What is up, y'all? I am Chris, aka TT Chris, aka Kristen Sleech Johnson.
And I am Kayla, aka Killer K, aka I am a killer, but don't push me. And welcome to Make It Make Sense with Chris and K. Where your horns at, Chris?
You already know I'm going to layer it up. I can't do the horns, though. I'm really not good at it. Okay, that was pretty good. That was
exactly,
pretty good.
Right. Ask and you shall receive.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Make It Make Sense. How you feeling today, Kayla? We're going to do a check-in because I feel like we ain't really did a check-in in a few episodes. So.
That's very true. We definitely have not. I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. It's cold as heck in Chicago. I was talking
to
because
everybody know what you was about to say.
Look, I was talking to your mom earlier, and she was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you be cursing." I said, "Yeah."
Like, oops, my bad, mom. Did she watch the Ganja episode?
I apologize. Your niece is a sailor. Okay.
Period. I don't know why she's so surprised. All of us, ma. In case she didn't know, she know who my daddy is, though. So.
I'll be code switching sometimes, but yeah, I'm doing well. This week has been going really well. I had some makeup appointments. For anybody that maybe didn't watch the first episode, I am the owner of Evolve Beauty. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, book with your girl. You can follow me at _Evolve Beauty _ on Instagram. I don't know how this just turned into a promo, but we're here now. So things are great. How are you?
As it should. It's never not a great time to shamelessly plug yourself, okay? Because you deserve it. But yeah, I'm doing good. Recently survived a feat with COVID, so feeling back to 100% energy levels, which is awesome because that shit honestly wasn't no joke. Like, I don't think my body has ever gotten that hot in my entire life. Not that I can recall personally in my adult life. And the migraines ain't no jokes. So, y'all know, mask up, wash your hands, do what y'all got to do to protect yourselves and protect everybody else around y'all because don't nobody really want to go through that shit. It's just not fun. Like,
yes, please be out here protecting yourselves.
Please do, okay? And our episode today actually kind of got something to do with protecting yourself, but not really in the traditional sense, okay? It's really more like just protecting your mental, protecting your aura and all that stuff against, predators and other folks in this world that deserve to be canceled, okay?
Look, that was a great transition. That was chef's kiss.
It just popped in my head. I'm like, dang, this is low key. It's high a little bit. Just a little bit. But yes, y'all, we are here today with a great conversation. We're going to be talking about artists and artistry. So, Kayla, do you want to give the people just a little bit of a background or a little, I don't think is it foreshadowing? A little snippet of what we're about to be talking about.
Yeah, I think it is foreshadowing. A few days ago, me and Kristen had the conversation. I think that a lot of people, especially in like the age of social media and everything being accessible to the public, are realizing that a lot of our favorite artists, or I'll say celebrities, because it's not just like musical artists, it's like painting artists, it's directors
social
and producers
artists.
of movies, anything in cinema, TV, film, music. We're realizing that a lot of people have some quite questionable past and presents as well. So basically the conversation sparked and we wanted to make sense of artists and their artistry and how we can maybe disconnect the two, or should we, and stuff like that. So let's start with that question, I guess. Chris, do you feel like artists should be like disconnected from the things that go on in their personal lives? I know.
Y'all know,
It's
it
kinda
really, it is tough. It really is tough, especially when you feel so connected to a specific artist and they do
Mhm.
something that really disappoints you or really misaligns with morals that you feel are important. Um, just R. Kelly, for instance. I know clearly he's like probably like the biggest scandal, I would say, that's going on right now. Not right now, because his scandal actually happened a while ago when his documentary was released and all that good stuff. But
But
he's
I'm
still
sorry, I
such
don't
in
mean
the
to cut I don't mean to
forefront.
cut you off, but
No, it's okay.
this shit has been going on for a long ass time. People have known about like the stuff that R. Kelly was doing for a long time. It's not until like you said, the documentary just came out either last year or I think last
A
year, right?
couple
It
years
came
ago.
out.
I think it was a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, like 2 years ago, it came out. But I remember when people talk about R. Kelly, I always bring up the story about how like he performed at my kindergarten graduation.
Facts. He did. That's the
He
thing.
performed at my kindergarten graduation, and I went to a Christian school. I'm not going to say what because I don't want to get sued, but
I ain't trying to
I don't know if that's
embarrass
a
y'all,
possibility, but
y'all know.
they had a pedophile and a sexual predator come sing I Believe I Can Fly at a kindergarten graduation. And
Them little
so there
kindergartners
were a
was
lot
into
of
that song.
parents that were rallying against this, obviously, for obvious reasons, but he still ended up performing. So that was years ago. I'm 25 now. And so that just goes to show you how long this stuff was going on, probably even before I was in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, I didn't realize like at that time it was like prevalent enough for people to be rallying against him not wanting to perform. I'm trying to remember because we went to the same school at the time. And I do remember because it was kind of a big uproar, but I remember more of like the celebrity part and everybody being excited about him coming and stuff. But I'm sure it was going on back then. And I remember when the news first broke that the documentary was coming out and he had officially been arrested, and everybody was talking on social media. I got on Facebook and we were all just like reminiscing about how so many people in Chicago, especially like high school girls and stuff, had so much access to him. And I actually was on there talking about how there was this time that a bunch of girls from my high school had got invited to come and like play or watch the boys play basketball at R. Kelly's. And I wanted to go so bad. I was like...
At his house?
Yeah, at his house. I don't remember
What?
how the situation went down. I do not remember how the invite happened. I think somebody that went to the school was like pretty close with him. And it was like, oh yeah, Kelly invited everybody to come over and watch us play basketball. He got his own basketball court at the crib, blah, blah, blah. So, we just little high school girls, and we like, dang, R. Kelly
Exactly.
house. We trying to go see him in his basketball court and watch y'all play basketball, but my parents would not let me go. Shout out to good protective parents, because
for
who
real.
knows what could have happened if I actually did end up going there and being in that situation. So gotta be looking out. But yeah, I mean, even for him, knowing everything that he has done, I also know what his art has done and what his art has meant to not only me, but my family, my aunties, my uncles, Step in the Name of Love, your mama.
Exactly.
And Uncle Douglas, like, they the steppers in the family. And that was the song. That's the song that everybody learns how to step to. And I'm still trying to learn to this day how to step correctly, because I wasn't paying attention at the time when the lessons was being given. We'll work on that. We'll work on that off screen. But yeah, it's just, it's really hard. It's hard to like intentionally be like, dang, no, this man is a predator. I don't need to put no extra coins in his pocket, because who knows what he's going to do. And I think the biggest thing about R. Kelly is the fact that it went on so long, we all understand the trauma that he went through in order to create who he was. And there was still never an apologetic moment. There was still never the moment of him accepting responsibility for what he did. And I think that's why a lot of, like, especially his younger fans were turned off. Because if you remember at the time, the older aunties was like, yeah, I'm still about to listen to R. Kelly. I'm not about to
Yes,
stop
girl.
playing his music. And we was just kind of looking at them sideways, like, but it's just, if he had, taken accountability for him, be like, damn, y'all know, you know what? I know what I did was fucked up. I know that my family, my trauma, all these things fucked me up inside, and I need to do better. Like, I feel like some passing grace would have been able to take place. Like, maybe we could have forgiven him. Maybe I wouldn't feel the need to turn off ignition every time it come on, even though I still feel the need to chicken head to it too. I don't know. It's just hard though. It's hard. But I will say I have disconnected. I've disassociated. I don't want to hear nothing because I don't want to think about the women. I don't want to think about everything that he's been through. And at this point, that's the only thing that I think about when I hear his music. So
Yeah.
I guess the answer is yes. I guess it's important to be, well, I guess that doesn't quite answer the question of whether it's important to be able to separate, because I can't separate. It's all blurred together for me. But I honestly, I wish I could. I wish I could separate it. But at the same time, I don't want to put no more coins in his pocket. He don't need nothing else but what he getting, and maybe some therapy along with that.
Yes. Some
What you think,
definitely
though?
he needs to go talk to the lady. Okay.
He do. He needs to spend
Few
some
of 'em.
hours.
And make sure the lady is of age.
It's a fact, though. She's not lying. She is not lying. But yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, something I feel like like I said, in the last few years, I feel like they've twisted my arm into having to learn to separate the two, or even have to have this like discussion with myself about if I want to. So, like, just to name a few people: Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Tory Lanez, the baby, like, and there are women in there too, but the difference between the women and men to me is I feel like women like Sabrina Claudio, for example, some tweets surfaced of hers with like some really racist rhetoric in it from years ago. But it seems like the difference between men and women is, with women, it's more verbal, and it's usually more physical with men. And so, yeah, obviously these are people that are heavily woven into Black culture. And I've had to have that discussion with myself many times before. And I think it's not black or white for me. I do it on like a case by case basis. So, like, for example, I still listen to R. Kelly occasionally. I would never play his music, I don't think, just because, like you, I think about the women when I hear his music. But also I realized, or I found out, that he does not own the masters to his music. So it's not like his music is being streamed and the money is being put into his pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
and so,
saving graces.
You said what?
I said saving graces. Okay, teach us something.
Yeah, so that's something that I consider heavily. I'm like, whatever is putting money into their pocket, or whatever their livelihood is, am I supporting that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they come out and they show no remorse for what they did, they never own up to it or anything, and they don't own rights to their exposure or their music or their art, whatever, then maybe I'm more likely to support them. I still feel like I need to do some research with Bill Cosby, because he's in so much stuff, but I just watched The Cosby Show probably for the first time all the way through last year, and it's just so good. And the impact that it has on Black families. Like, people, after they found out about Bill Cosby, people people started looking at Bill a different way. And like some of the stuff that he was doing in the show and the way that he was interacting around women. Because I mean, as you know, he was like a producer, obviously the star, like a heavy writer on the show. And so certain instances where he was like kissing Rudy on the mouth or like slapping Felicia Rashad on the butt or whatever, like you just kind of look at it a different way. But at the same time, it's like before we found out this information, Cliff Huxtable was a model father in the Black household. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't just take back that influence that he has had on not just Black men, but black families, anybody that is a part of a Black family. So I don't know. It's never a completely Black or white situation for me, especially when it comes to Black people. Even if they do wrong, because I'm Black, I want to give them more mercy.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about Tory Lanez or the baby,
okay, because we don't with Tory.
Women beat us. Women
we'll play that.
shoot us.
We do not.
Shout out my girl, the Stallion.
Look, because we love
I don't
Meg
mess
and we
with
stand
that.
Meg. Yeah, I like. Oof. Tory, no, just no.
Yeah,
I know he just.
And honestly, I just had to stop myself there because I'm just like, it's because we feel like we know Meg, but what about the other women that like fell predator to R. Kelly and Bill Cosby? So not to say that situation takes precedent over the situations with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly, but it just seems like it's a little bit closer to home. So let me just make that clarification for everybody. Can y'all hear me? This situation is no less or more important. People who are victims of sexual assault, violence, or domestic violence, I feel for you. And my heart goes out to you. But I just feel like Meg is my big sister, and I aspire to inherit her knees.
Period. Okay, because she ain't deserved that. She did not deserve that trauma that she got put through either. Okay. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I honestly though, I feel like this is like a good kind of transition to the next topic too. But I just wanted to comment real quick about the Meg and Tory thing because again, it's the accountability for me. It's the blatant trying to get into the media and say you didn't do this, say you didn't do that. Let me tell you something. When Chris Brown did what he did to my girl Rihanna, he went silent, okay, as he should. And when the time came, she was able to come forward first, speak her mind, and it wasn't no Rihanna lying, I ain't do that. It like that just didn't happen. Like for a really long time, he took accountability because he received all of the hate energy that the world was ready to give him when they found out what happened. And I feel like he owned up to it. He went to court. Like it was like so different from I feel like the situation that happened the way it happened with Tory and Megan. And we don't know the full story. We weren't there, we weren't in the car. My girl Kelsey, I don't know what she on. She's saying there's some other shady stuff going on too, but she kind of seemed like she might be a shady sis a little bit. So, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, it's really the accountability for me. But I also do wonder if the way we feel about Bill Cosby and R. Kelly is because of the level of artistry that they were able to achieve. Like I feel like Tory Lanez is still like kind of going through his musical journey. It's not like he's like a staple. He's not an icon, a legend. He's not anybody that I feel like is on anybody's top 5 rappers of all time if you have like a very extensive taste of hip-hop music. So do you feel like that plays any role into like the level of which, well, I guess at the same time, yeah, do you feel like that plays any role into the level at which we're kind of willing to separate R. Kelly and Bill Cosby from their situation versus Tory Lanez?
100%.
Because of their influence? Yeah,
100%. I definitely agree with that because as you were asking the question, one other person popped into my mind who we didn't mention when we were having the conversation previously, and that's Michael Jackson.
Girl, don't get me started.
And there was, unlike R. Kelly and Bill Cosby, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think anybody ever came out publicly. You know, there was always speculation when Michael was in the limelight, but I don't think anybody came out publicly and said that he was messing with little kids. I think it was all just speculation up until the day that he died. However, even with that speculation circulating, there was still a level of grace that people provided with Michael because of the impact that he had on the world, not just the Black community. And the same thing with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. I think that people, honestly, I mean, aside from how talented they are and how they have their hands in a lot of different things, such as music, movies, producing, stuff like that, even besides that, they've had a lot more time in the game to win our hearts over. Tory Lanez is, I mean, he's been rapping in the public eye for maybe the last 5 or so years. So
yeah, I would agree with that.
He's just had a lot less time, and I don't think his music is as influential either.
No,
if we're being honest.
like
And
that.
since we're talking about Tory Lanez, I want to hear your answer too. But before I forget, did you see that? So I saw online that, you know, whenever Chris Brown, I don't doubt this, whenever Chris Brown comes out with a new project, somebody steps forward talking about some sort of allegations about sexual assault or domestic violence or whatever. So I'm not negating the fact that he may have did that to somebody, but my issue was with Tory Lanez because he said, "Oh, he's a legend of our time." And every time he wants to come out with a project, people always got something to say. That. My nigga,
you be quiet.
You can't say shit about shit. You need to
Like,
sit
he
this
don't
one
need
out.
that, bro. He do not
You
need
need
that
to sit
from you.
So little ass, sit down.
I didn't even know he said anything. Like, Tory,
Yes,
that's
girl.
not your lane, sir. That is not your lane. Please do
okay.
not try and be the supportive brother. We don't need that from you. Like, apologize to what you did to Megan in the public first, and then maybe we can listen to what you got to say. Until then, corner. Please.
Tory, stay in your own lane.
Stay in your own lane, Tory. That ain't it. Like,
certainly ain't.
That's not
certainly.
It. But yeah.
That just pissed me off. But
that's crazy.
Going back to the original question, though, do you think that because of like their level of fame that they get bigger passes than people who don't have as much fame?
Yeah, for sure, though. Yeah, and the Michael Jackson situation breaks my heart, but it's true. I think because he even went to court. You know, nobody, like you said, I don't think there was like a lot of public admittance to what happened, but we know that the situation went to court. He wanted to settle out with the people that were making the claims against him. And I think even then, like, I know Janet Jackson's new documentary is coming out where she spoke on it a little bit. And she was saying how she didn't want Michael to settle because she felt like it made him look guilty. But his lawyers and everybody else like kind of kept urging him to. And I think even when, you know, they made that decision in the public eye, everybody's still kind of like, well, you going back on tour or what? Because we really trying to see the superstars. So I definitely feel like the level of fame that they achieve plays a huge role in it. And I don't know. It really is hard. It's hard because they're people too. They're people just like we're people, and they just happen to be given a God-given gift that allows them to connect with so many people on such a deep and meaningful way. And, you know, when people that you feel like you know or feel like you care about or feel like you connect with kind of disappoint you like that, it's, you know, you just really don't feel good. It don't feel good to like admit that somebody you felt so strongly about is like a predator or could do something that you really feel like they would never have been able to do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think even though we do give them that pass, it does not necessarily mean they always deserve it. I don't think R. Kelly deserves it. Bill Cosby is never mind. I'm not even gonna be problematic today because what I was about to say is probably going
I
to be very
don't want
problematic.
peace. I want problems always. Tell me. What is it?
I'm just saying, I'm not saying I don't believe these women whatsoever. I'm not saying that they do not deserve to have their stories heard or have their stories told. They absolutely do. In whatever aspect they felt uncomfortable or harassed or whatever they did, it's their right to feel that way, their right to speak up about it and speak out on it. But I cannot be blind to the fact that I feel like certain things happen to certain people at very, very convenient times. And I'm not going to say that I don't believe some of it became a scandal because of the level of achievement he was trying to get to at the time. At the time he was trying to buy the TV network, and Bill Cosby money going into a TV network for Black folks. That's a game changer.
Huge.
That's a huge thing. So and like the Chris Brown thing now. Like when he said that, when Chris Brown himself came out and said, every time I want to drop a project, y'all always see something else is popping up. I just talked about how Chris Brown has always been accountable for the wrongs that he has done. And I'm not going to act like I wouldn't believe something is being lied on his name because he got something about to come out. To me, it's just, we've seen it happen before. It's let's go back to Emmett Till if we got to talk about that. Clearly, some women don't have a problem saying certain things and don't have conscience enough to understand how detrimental what they're saying can be. But it's something we've seen before. We've seen it for years and years and generations at this point. So I'm just not going to say that it can't be something else going on in the mix, but that's all I'm saying about it. Because like I said, I ain't trying to get too problematic for the people. But
yeah. Okay, well, in solidarity with your problematicness, I will also say my problematic opinion.
I appreciate you.
We're in this together.
We are ride or die.
So my thing is, I don't think that my automatic belief is to believe the woman. Obviously, I'm Black, but I'm a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? I understand what it's like being a woman. I understand that men do try to take advantage if they are put in that position, especially like a position of power. Like you, Bill Cosby, you R. Kelly, like you're in a high position of power. You have access to an unlimited amount of things, or so you think. So I'm not saying that anybody that came forward was lying in these situations. But what I will say is, here I go giving Black people the benefit of the doubt again.
As you should, as we always should.
I just think it's really unfortunate because that's what happened in those times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're just in the last few years getting into the age of, I think it's like Title IX, where sexual harassment is being taken very seriously. But in the Hollywood industry, everybody was doing that shit. And I'm sure everybody still is doing that shit, whether it's for personal pleasure or it's for professional gain, you know what I'm saying? Or like blackmailing, you know what I'm saying? So it's unfortunate the two Black men were the ones that had to suffer at the hands of that, just because at that time it was normalized. Like everybody was doing it. So it's unfortunate that they had to suffer when it was something that was so normal, but it's surfacing now. Like I said, not to put down any women that may have been victims to sexual harassment, but I'm sure there are so many white men during that time that were also in positions of power that were doing the exact same thing, and they're going to die with a clear conscience, and they never got caught, never will. Nobody will ever hear a peep about anything.
And that's period. Or they just gonna forget about it because don't nobody talk about Harvey Weinstein no more. I don't see his Sundance Film Festival's films coming out. Okay,
Exactly.
got all
Because
the stuff said about Bill.
because white women are involved, they're gonna make it so they seem like make it seem like America cares, you know. So
Yeah.
he did like go to trial and stuff like that, but we won't talk about it no more. It's just getting brushed under the rug. So he probably got like a little slap on the wrist, and then that was that.
Is he dead? I don't know why I thought he was dead. I might
I
have
don't
made
know.
that up.
He old as hell though. I
He
think
old
so.
as hell.
That's I don't know, sir.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I hate that it got to be our people that have to go through these, but you know what? To me, I just feel like that means we have to hold ourselves and our culture members to a higher standard because ain't no forgiveness for us in real life. Like any chance they get to pounce on the black man, they gonna pounce on them. Same thing for black women. Any chance they get, they gonna pounce on it and drag folks while they down. So, but the good thing about the world and social media in particular is that a bunch of it don't even really be real in the first place, which actually leads us to our question that the answer for this week. So, Kayla, tell me, do you feel like cancel culture is even like a real thing? Is it something that's just like for the moment on the fly? What you think about it?
Fake news.
She
Fake
said, nah.
news.
Alternative facts.
Yeah, cancel culture is fake news, for sure. And in simplest terms, cancel culture just isn't real because people don't have the discipline to hold these celebrities accountable. And that's just that. Like people, I don't think, and maybe it's easy for me to say because I can't get attached to people that I don't know. Like not for real. And so I feel like people follow these people on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and they feel like they know them for real. And so to give people the benefit of the doubt, we have so much access to people's lives that you feel closer to them. And so when they do some fucked up shit, it's hard to disconnect yourself from that. But I don't think I'm personally connected to anybody that much where I wouldn't mind canceling them. Like I said before, like I have to distinguish the situation. Like it's never completely black or white. But I don't think no celebrity is that important to me where I could just not cut them off if they did something messed up, in my opinion. But I feel like cancel culture implies like the masses doing it. So obviously I can't implement cancel culture by myself. It has to be enough people that are actually canceling these people in order for it to make an impact. So yeah, cancel culture is definitely fake. If everybody could get on the same page, then maybe we would have an opportunity to make this a real thing. But as of now, yeah, fake news.
Yep, 100% agree. It's really that collective part because, like you said, like a little couple fish is not gonna make a tidal wave happen. So it's just, and I think it's gonna be almost impossible to get everybody on the same page. Like people can't get on the same page about nothing. That's why we got different parties in the government. That's why we got different genres of music. It's just you can't expect everybody to all fall in line about anything 100%. And if we're canceling somebody, we need 100% cancellation. We need everybody to not play their music. We need the streaming services to agree to cut them off the radios. We need, radio DJs to agree not to play these artists and so on and so on. So I 100% agree with you. I think you can have your own personal sense of cancel culture where you're just like, well, in solidarity with these women, I'm not going to play their music. I'm not going to listen to them and try and encourage everybody around you to do the same thing. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be almost impossible to get every single person on the same wavelength when it comes to cancel culture.
Yeah.
And then when it
I
comes
think
about connecting to celebrities, though, I'm just going to say I have to disagree, okay? Because I love me some celebrities. Well, I'm only one. Only one I truly, truly felt like, oh, Jesus, I still remember the day he died. Rest in peace, Michael.
Wait, who?
Michael. What?
Oh, Michael.
Oh, my
Okay,
goodness.
I was gonna try to guess, but
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't gonna say Michael. But
Ooh,
until you
who'd you go?
said rest
Okay.
in peace,
I want to see who you was gonna guess.
Because I was trying to think about people. I was thinking automatically about people that were still alive,
Oh, okay,
and then
fair.
people that have been like in the news for like some scandal. I know you really love Bruno Mars, though. That's the first person I thought about. But
Girl,
I don't think Bruno Mars is scandalous, though.
love me some Peter Hernandez. And no, he is not scandalous. He threw the bong out the window before y'all call him, okay? So he ain't do nothing wrong, okay? Like,
That's
that's
a government name.
look, true fandom, okay, since the beginning. Y'all wasn't there in the beginning, okay, Talking to the Moon. Y'all just now found out about that song. Boy, I've been on Talking to the
Smoking
Moon.
out the window.
Look, he was truly smoking
Right,
out the
because of
window.
TikTok.
That was truly the biggest scandal he ever had, was literally him smoking out the window of like a hotel room. But
That's it.
somebody else, I would agree with that though. And that's funny because I feel like he has so many similarities to Michael. It's just that kind of like person that they are, that just have like this magnanimous aura about them that you just can feel like you relate to. But yeah, when it come to Michael, though, I remember the sadness that me and Mary was going through when we was at Granny house, sitting on the couch, and all the helicopters were around his house, and they were saying that he might have passed, he might not have passed, they didn't know yet, and we were just like so scared, like in there crying, like before the official announcement had even been made. We were just like holding each other, just like, dang, I cannot believe this is happening right now. Like you would have thought he was our uncle or something. Like, but
I remember that day. That's crazy.
It just goes to show, like we were talking about earlier, just that level of being able to connect with so many people on such a deep personal level. And you know why you get that pass? Because you couldn't tell me nothing, baby. You cannot tell me that Michael did nothing, okay? If Macaulay Culkin can live his life and be a productive, mentally healthy human being to this day, then I feel like we can let that man rest in peace without trying to bring up new films about stuff and reopening old wounds, okay? Let everybody just live and relax, okay? Nobody want to talk about it. That's okay. Let's just talk about all the great things that he did. But you know, cancel culture. It's just like, because nobody was about to cancel Michael. He's like probably the most pertinent fact of proof that cancel culture is not real, because in reality they tried to cancel him for sure, like, and it just, that never happened. So I think it's all about it's really truly all about just like what level of celebrity you're at. Like even Tory Lanez, I feel like, has a big enough following to not be canceled, because he's still releasing projects and he's still, you know, getting played on Shade Room and Jasmine Brand and all these other, you know, large media platforms are still willing to cover him and talk about him. And, you know, he did something very horrendous. Like R. Kelly, even to me, like still to this day, I'm pretty sure, like you said, occasionally you'll listen to it. And it's not like you're necessarily putting coins in his pocket, but at the same time, you know, it's a form of still connecting to that music to the point where you don't want to turn it off. Like his transgressions have not caused you enough pain to be like, oh, I just could not listen to it, because every time I do, I just become so numb and glum. You feel me? So
yeah, I think that's we have to wrap up today, you guys, but I would be very interested in discussing on another episode the difference between empathy and sympathy.
Yes.
Because I think that a part of the reason that cancel culture is so like people don't implement canceling somebody is because we lack empathy.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if people truly did empathize for whatever victims in whatever situation, it'd be
a lot easier.
Yeah, everybody would be canceled.
True.
So like I said, you guys, we have to wrap up, but let us know in the comments or in our DMs if you would be interested in a conversation like that, because I got a lot of shit to say. I'm sure Kristen does as well.
Yeah, I can definitely get into that conversation.
Yeah, we might have to make that happen.
For sure. But yes, y'all, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, for listening in, wherever you are. We appreciate your thoughts and your concerns and your time for coming and spending with us.
Yes. Thank you guys for, last time we checked, it was 150 views. Thank you guys for that. I know people have been listening on Apple Podcasts too, so that might not even be completely accurate. But thank you guys for the support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching our videos on TV and in the beauty shops and stuff like that. We really, really appreciate it. And we're happy that these conversations can reach people, because that was our original intent for it anyway. So we're looking forward to continuing to grow, bringing people on, hearing feedback from you guys. Speaking of, we have a very interesting episode coming up that we can't wait to share with you guys.
Oh, Lord, y'all.
Featuring two other special guests. So make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. We won't disclose any information, but you will definitely want to, tune in and get your glass of wine.
Look, we get real personal. I would at least tell y'all that it's gonna be a very personal conversation, and y'all can't see my cheeks getting red and rosy because it is it's a conversation. You ain't gonna want to miss it. I'll just tell you that.
Yes. So if you guys don't already, make sure you grab your glass of wine for this episode and the next few, because it's definitely going to be interesting. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in to Make It Make Sense. We will see y'all on the next one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.
That part.
And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.